Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you in part by Story and Black Roofing. We've got you covered. Metal, slate, tile, asphalt, and shingle. We're locals you can trust. Story and Black Roofing right here in Pensacola, Florida. Give us a call. I'm your host, Thomas Battis, alongside two of the same old short track guys in the studio as always. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 Sportsman here at Five Flag Speedway, and Ted Baber, Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
Greetings.
I'm back. What are y'all doing?
Just waiting for the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. It'll be here in a few days, Ted. Just do not worry.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a pre-happy New Year.
Christmas is over. Thank you, Lord. And survived another one.
Yep. Well, there you go.
Yep, got some big races coming up. We got some that we've had in the past, and I guess the idea is to go back through the archives and bring up some of the dust, bring up some of the stories that we've had throughout the year and dust it off a little bit and bring up some of the ones that are our favorites, some that we didn't like, and some of them we look forward to.
Well, I guess I'll start it off because my favorite race that I saw this year was actually the Rattler. Of course, I'm partial to Bubba Pollard winning, but to watch him and Ty Majeski battle cleanly, no damage, no shoving each other out of the way, no somebody trying to door slam somebody or tear somebody's stuff up. They raced each other clean like gentlemen should, and Bubba come out on top, which was pretty dadgum awesome. And it was a good race all day long because Majeski started last, Bubba started 15th. So neither one of them got up front by chance.
No.
They had to work for it. Right. And it was a great, great show. My favorite race of the year. I'll tell you, my second favorite was the one at Florence, South Carolina, where three cars battled for the lead 3 wide at one point during the Cars Tour race. The 300 that was up there, that was an awesome show also.
No doubt. I don't have so much as a favorite individual race, but all of the Crown Stock races this year for me were just outstanding because it's your basic class regardless of how much money people are putting in the cars. But anyway, those guys, they had a little bit of a parity situation going on. There were some more equal than others, but I loved watching them because they're just out there getting with it. They're a bunch of new guys and some folks with a little experience, but when you put that together, it makes for a good show.
I agree with that. Now, that class was probably one of the better ones to watch this year, and that's just only going to get bigger and bigger. They got a road course race coming up for them. They've got Montgomery's coming up 1st of January, so it's going to be a big race up there for them. They're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just going to continue to grow, and I'm glad to see it. We need a class like that.
Yes, someplace to start off and take it from there.
That's it. And the cars are plentiful. There's plenty of Crown Vics. There's plenty of Grand Marquis. Right. And here's something I'd like to see, just while we're talking about that.
That's it.
Police cars and experienced drivers, have like a Story and Black Roofing Crown Stock A and a Crown Stock B.
Right.
The Crown Stock B cars cannot be police cars. They have to be
real stocks.
Real stocks. Yeah, basically just regular Crown Vics, regular things. No modifications whatsoever. No nothing to the computers. No special bolts for the right front. Nothing. Must be stock. I mean stock. And let's run them, and let's let the rookie drivers run in those. And that would be a beginner class. And then you have an A class for the guys that are experienced like me that want to run, that can run police cars. I think that would enhance it also because then because you're going to have to eventually break them up because eventually you're going to have so many of them, you're not going to be able to have a regular feature every week.
No.
So why not have an A and a B class and make sure, like I said, no cop cars in the B class, must be Crown Vics or Grand Marquis bone stock. No modifications to the computer, none of that. It cannot have any kind of performance advantage whatsoever. I don't even want a K&N air filter in that dang thing. I want it stock.
Paper air filter.
I mean, just let them battle. Yeah. That way you ain't got one car running off and hiding, and then you've got the police cars. Allow them to lighten the police cars up. Allow them to cut more out of them. Make them like the guys that were here. Let them be, give them 3,000 pounds. Let them just cut the crap out of them. Make them lighter. Take the dashes out. Make a race car out of it, but then have a B class that's affordable for the every man can race.
B for bone stock.
B for bone stock. That's right. I hope you listen to us, Marcus. I think that would be an awesome idea. Something you guys, you and Ryan ought to toss around. And I mean, like you said, man, the racing in that class was incredible this year. Great job. Those guys put on a show. And every race we went to was a pretty good show.
And that gives somebody else an opportunity to win, which, face it, the guys that have the mostly stock cars really aren't having much of a chance. So And I don't know if we could come up with a separate point system for them, but that'd be pretty neat.
Well, you could. You just have an A and a B, just two separate divisions.
Yeah.
But then you'd have a beginner class and then an A class, and then you wouldn't have to and offset the weekends. Like you run the A's on one weekend, the B's on the next weekend.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that would help it grow the class even more because you'd have, like I said, a class for guys that don't have a lot of money, that can't find a police car, but have a Crown Vic sitting in the yard that runs and drives. Put tires on it and race. And I mean, no performance tires. It better be you better put what type of tire they get to run on and everything. I mean, regulate the crud out of them.
Right. Yeah. So they can't get away with anything.
Yes, exactly. And I think you'd have a great class. And then when, somebody wants to move up, they could sell theirs and then buy one of the cars in the upper class.
Right. Yeah.
But don't let the upper class get too far ahead.
Yeah, that is always a problem. That rules creep comes around and before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, just like with the class I'm in. We can have this, you can have that. Then you're going to spend an extra $6,000 or $7,000 in just parts to be competitive. Mm-hmm. And that's what's frustrating me is, the money we're spending to run up front in that class is insane.
Absolutely, it's just gotten away.
What do you got a first place car that costs $35,000 to build, and it's got the best of everything on it, and yet the officials won't do anything about it. And I'm catching heck from both sides on that deal because I feel like the tech's not doing enough, and I feel like the guy that did it that car's not legal. But they're letting him do it, so what can you say?
If it's not cheating until you get caught, and if you never get caught,
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's not right, but what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, we've had some really good races this year in every kind of division, sprint cars. I mean, we've seen some of the moves Rico Abreu and those guys making those sprint cars is insane. I mean, we sit here and watch clip after clip. Thomas shows us these clips of these guys just dicing it up. Yeah. So, you got to put sprint cars at the top of some of the best short track racing there is because those guys put on a show.
Well, I think, speaking of sprint cars, I think we have a little bitty tiny race out in Oklahoma that's coming up here pretty soon, too.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous numbers of entries this year.
And then a couple weeks later, there's one that's right after. It's just as big.
Right. It's just crazy.
And the Tulsa Shootout. Then you got the Copper Classic.
Yeah.
Not the Copper Classic. Excuse me. I missed that one. But the Tulsa Shootout for sure. And the Tulsa Shootout is insane.
Yeah. We just watched a walkthrough of the pits, which took forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can you imagine being at the far end of the pit area and you're the next heat race and you're not ready and you have to push your car down there? I mean, it's got to be crazy. And some of the names that are there are insane, huh, Thomas?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Haley Deegan, Jesse Love, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe. I mean, Kyle Busch, Braxton Busch. I mean, the list goes on.
Well, I mean, but you're talking about the best of the best, and short track dirt racing goes out there and tries to win the Golden Driller.
1,700 entries.
I think 1,700 cars. Yeah, that's crazy.
Good thing they're small cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's going to be, but it's always a good show. I mean, and it kicks off the end of the year basically, and then the next one is what's the next big one?
The Chili Bowl.
The Chili Bowl is the next big one, and that starts off the new year. That's pretty much the next big race that begins the year. And we've got other races. Cordele, Georgia's coming up. We got all kinds of stuff. I mean, it just never ends. I mean, the Snowball Derby just ended, and here we are. Christmas is just over, and now we're already running a big race in Tulsa. And then we got the next one, and then we got Cordele, Georgia coming up in January.
January 20th.
And then the 24th or I think the 20th also is the same weekend. Or no, it's not. It's the next weekend is the Red Eye 50/50 in New Smyrna, which our boy Bubba said he's going to run. So that's going to be interesting to see if he shows up down there and if he runs Cordele too.
Yeah, and then on the 13th, it's Clyde Hart Memorial, New Smyrna also. That's one of the Southern Super Series races, of which they have about several, and they're paying a minimum of $10,000 per race. To win. So
the schedule in that All-Star Series is insane. Some of the races they've got this year are crazy. I mean, big name races. And the thing about it is, and I heard that Ty Majeski's not going to get to defend his title this year.
Yeah.
Got to run the Truck Series. That's kind of him next level. And there's some conflicting races, and he can't run. But he said he was going to run all the ones that he can run. And I'm sure he'll be at the Rattler.
Right.
Which is coming up in March, which will be another big show that we have coming up. that, last year, like I said, Bubba won it, and this year it's going to be, I'm sure Bubba's coming back to get seconds, and that's an SRL late model race.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be it'd be interesting to see what him and his new best friend are going to wind up doing during that race too.
Yeah, I think
if Nancy makes it.
Yeah, maybe. But in this year we also got to talk about Mobile International. Their
Right.
exciting schedule. They've got a big schedule coming.
Yeah.
And don't know what the classes are going to be and how we're going to run. I'm going to try to run as many as I can. But man, Mobile looks pretty stout this year. They've got the grandstands fixed up.
Right.
And this is kind of cool. It's not really a racing thing, but they did the Nights and Lights out
Right.
there for Christmas, and that was number 4 Christmas attraction in the Alabama state.
Wow.
Their whole deal they do is they got an Alabama magazine that does the thing, and that came out as number 4.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty neat. I went and did that. It's pretty cool to ride through there. You ride down the back stretch and go down the front stretch and you wander through the pits and the lights are singing to the radio station. It's something pretty neat. And, I think that's pretty cool that Mobile International got that. And I think Eddie's doing a great job of that place, and I hope it continues to grow and get better.
I'm sure it will. He's got the momentum behind him now with a good season in the books already, and another one coming up well, it's still technically still next year.
Next year.
Right.
It's next year. We ain't quite got the easy, Ted. Quit pushing it so dang hard. Jeez. Get past the end of this year. This year wasn't that bad.
Oh, boy. No, it wasn't. It was just actually pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm going to put in my vote for the worst race of the year. To me, it was the best race, but great race, but then sucked, which was the Snowball for our boy Bubba. But congratulations to Ty Majeski getting number 2. I mean, dude, he's won every big major race there is to win in all 8 models, so the dude's pretty sporty.
Yeah, that didn't hurt him getting that truck ride either, so because they could see the talent and said, hey, let's get this guy right here.
Well, Grant Enfinger's got a good ride for this year.
Yes, he does.
He signed up and got all his ducks in a row, so hopefully he makes another run at the championship. We need to get. We're going to have him back on soon, and would love to see Fairhope, Alabama's Grant Enfinger be a truck champion. How awesome would that be?
That would be great. I'd love to see that.
And also looking for next year is Christian Rose having another great year in the ARCA series.
Indeed. That would be fun to watch.
Top 3 in points, completed all the laps.
All right.
That's big. At first, what they say is to finish first you must finish.
Yeah, and he did a lot of that.
and a lot of top 5s and a lot of top 10s and a lot of good finishes. So we look forward to hearing from him this year. And we're going to get some more guests on. We got some people coming up, and I'm hoping this year that things work out. We can get on video because even though, like I said, we all 3 have a face for radio, we can still do we can still do YouTube, and that's something coming in the new year.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed doing this, and I love the fact that we can talk racing that's the best kind of racing, because NASCAR sucks. I'm sorry, it's not as good as it used to be. We don't have heroes anymore, but in short track racing, you got heroes. You got young guys, you got guys that have been racing a long time. You can root for them. I mean,
yeah, I love it. I mean, it's so much more competitive, and the politics are, for the most part, out the door. You don't have to worry about somebody. Well, we do have a few whiners, but that's just normal.
Need some tech officials. Well, let me rephrase that. We need tech officials that the people in the tower don't interfere with.
That can get to do their job without interference.
Yes, and get somebody in there that knows what they're doing. Right. Get some stuff done, because there's some cars that need tossing, and they need to do it. But I don't want to lose the car. Well, if you throw him out, either one or two things are going to happen. He's either going to come back or he ain't. And if you don't come back, oh well.
Well, I mean,
you're going to gain another car from that guy being gone, and them seeing that you're serious about doing your job.
Right.
So that's on my wish list of 2024 is a better tech crew and for the tower to stay out of the tech area at all racetracks, all short tracks. Tower should have nothing to do with it. When the tech man makes a decision, he shouldn't have to call the promoter or the race director and go, "Hey, can I throw him out?" No, see ya.
Is it okay?
No, there is none of that.
Nope, shouldn't be.
So, I mean, and as far as my racing, I'm looking forward to next year. I'm going to have some fun, and we're going to continue on. I'm getting ready to wind down. My job may change some things here next year or two, and I think if it does run down out of Sportsman, then I'm going to get me a Crown Vic and go play every once in a while. Whenever I feel like having fun, I'll have a car to throw on there and go.
Well, one of the new old faces that I've just come across is going to be back in the super late model this year is Jeff Chiquette. I can't wait to see that happen.
Oh, dude, you remember the year him and Bubba battled for the lead, and then Kyle Busch just kind of rode behind him. When Kyle wanted to go, he passed both of them and drove off in the sunset. But Jeff Chiquette and Bubba were the class of the field till Kyle Busch showed up. But
yeah, that's kind of half expected. But
I wonder who he's driving for.
That I don't know yet, but we can find out very shortly.
I'm sure he was a Jet Motorsports guy for a while.
I think he's back with them, actually, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll have to see.
Huh. That's going to be interesting because, I mean, that dude can wheel a race car. He's fast. He's won a lot of big races.
He is with Jet Motorsports, and he's going to be at the Red Eye in New Smyrna.
Awesome deal, man. Glad to see he's back. I hope he runs with them all year.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I mean, he did before and did very well. I don't know how long his break was, but we'll find out.
And what about Gio Ruggiero? How good of a season he had as a young man that flat wheeled and finished second at Snowball Derby, but had a lot of good wins. Moved Nasty out of the way at Winchester 400 to win it. And, I mean, he's won a lot of big races, and every race he's run, he's been a contender unless he's been in a wreck or something that's happened. Right. So that's another guy that's going to move up in the ranks. I got a feeling there's going to be a truck team looking for him here pretty soon.
Well, we can watch and see what happens. Hopefully it'll be good news. All good news.
Yeah, we'd like to see the old guys win too. I mean, but Red Eye is going to be interesting. I would love to go run my car, but unfortunately I'm not running super stocks this year. So I'm going to have to pick another date to go down to New Smyrna. I just want to finish a race. I want to run the entire 25 laps, put the car back on the trailer and enjoy it.
Right.
So
we'll find one somewhere, maybe Montgomery or who knows.
I'm going to go to Montgomery this year. That's something in my plans. I'd love to go up there and run a race or two. Up there, let's be competitive. And I got my 4-speed. I got to take it over to Dave Towle. He's going to help me out with it. So I just got to find a rear end. I've been looking for a 9-inch Ford for my car or an 8.5, so I can run in high gear and not have to worry about it. And run that lightened up transmission. So,
anybody out there?
Yeah, we'll find some speed. I found a couple of them, but one of them's like in Texas Panhandle, and that's a
bit of a hike.
It's a 12-hour drive from here, and then you got to turn around and come home, and it's a $500 rinse complete minus the chunk, but I'm just not driving to Texas. just ain't,
You're not going to do it.
Nope. And shipping that thing would cost me astronomical money.
Yeah.
And Shane Turner, my buddy Shane Turner, who does hot shot stuff, but he's not going anywhere near there in the next 6 months, so it's not even worth asking him to go get it. So
no.
But speaking of friends, I'd just like to give a shout out and a prayer to 3 of our racing buddies that we've known over the years. Mike Williamson, who's in the hospital right now, it's touch and go with him. We thoughts and prayers with him and his family, and hopefully he gets out of it. Billy Hoover, who's just recently in the hospital. He's out and he's home resting. Prayers to you, Billy. We hope you get to feeling better. And Marcus Story of Story and Black Roofing suffered something. We don't know what, but he's been in the hospital and he's now home resting, asking everybody just to thanks for all the well wishers, but he just hopes that, right now he just needs to rest. So we just throw some prayers towards those people if you would.
Absolutely.
And think about them when you get a chance. And if you can send them a message, throw them a message and tell them how you're thinking about them.
Yeah. We certainly hate to see people have issues with health.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt and the hat.
Yeah. Somebody at the Snowball Derby who's sitting at this table wound up having to go the day of the Derby. That was scary, but
a little ride in that white box, which was kind of
man, and it worries me because most of these guys that I'm talking about are my age. They're in their early 50s, and I'm 53. So, maybe it's time for me to get off my fat behind and start doing some calisthenics and get in better shape myself.
More salad eventually.
Look, the Undaunted Life podcast, I listened to it, and this guy he does a carnivore diet. It's meat only, very few vegetables. And this doctor endorsed it and says it's a healthy diet. So, you know what? I'm going to try it.
All right.
I am a carnivore. I am a meat eater.
Yes. I love the animal flesh myself.
Man. So.
Oh, boy.
Gee, our host over has been awfully quiet this evening.
He's just enjoying our
banter back and forth.
I'm listening and learning and doing some research for future conversation.
Yeah. Well, what was your favorite race this year, Thomas?
My favorite race.
Yeah. What race did you think was probably one of the best shows of the short track shows of the year?
Oh, wow. I would have to go outside of maybe the Super Late Model Series.
Yeah.
And maybe pick some of the modifieds up there in Connecticut,
yeah.
You know, with the Hirschmans and the Doug Colbys and Ron Silks and Justin Bonsignor and some of those up there at Thompson.
Yeah.
But probably one of the better races consistently. I mean, not just one particular, but it would have to be the ground pounders. I don't know. There's something about those modifieds that just kind of, you know, it tickles my fancy a little bit.
Get your juices going.
Amen to that. Well, you know, Corey LaJoy won at Martinsville and won this year. Got into it with Jimmy Blewett. They all brake checked, and Corey bumped one of them, and he was in, Tommy Baldwin's car. And he said when he was in Victory Lane, Tommy Baldwin was back going, yeah, you're a superstar. Whatever, superstar. Tore up my car, superstar. I just thought that was funny. But Corey LaJoy ended up winning one of the big ground pounder races, so I thought that was pretty cool this year. Yeah. But you're right, man. Those guys beat and bang and bounce off each other. That's why they put those big Nerf bars on them so they can cram into each other and not do any damage.
Yeah, don't roll over top of each other in a flip. And
it still does happen. But, But I agree. That's a good one.
I still look forward to see those come down at Run Five Flags. You know, in the Wayland series. You know, with Ryan Priest behind the. I guess the conversation with, running the Derby week, I think he did well in Martinsville. I think he's won a couple of big races in that. And he's known for running those big modifieds anyway in the series and bringing a Doug Colby down here and Matt Hirschman and Justin Bonsignor and Ron Silk and all those guys bring that series down here, Run Five Flags in Mobile, maybe a doubleheader. In the ground pounder series, that would be pretty cool.
That would be perfect.
Well, you know that just a slim short 8 hours away from here, they'll be running all week.
Yeah.
Down there in New Smyrna, we could ride down there on a Thursday night and watch Thursday and Friday. You know, and that Friday night, they run super stock, so we could pile into my truck, throw the race car on the back, and go down there and run Friday night and watch the modifieds. I'm just throwing that out there. It's in February, I'm just saying.
Yep, the World Series of Asphalt.
The World Series of Asphalt.
There's on February 9th, as a matter of fact, they're having a 35 lap race for Super and Pros, Florida Modifieds and Sportsmans, and a 20 lap race for Bomber A's. It's going to be confusing.
Well, the Bomber A's are V8s. I think the Bomber B's are the 4-cylinder cars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's their distinction. But dude, that's going to be a show down there. And like I said, I could take the super stock down. We could leave Wednesday, stay Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Come back Sunday morning. I'm just saying, I've got a buddy down there. I could leave my race car at his house as soon as our race is over with.
Well, cover that for the show.
Yep. And then
write it off as a tax write-off.
Yeah, that's it. We're going down there to write it off for the podcast. It's our LLC on the podcast. It's a traveling expense.
Yes.
That we could write off the tires and the fuel.
And check that off on our, dumpster list.
Dumpster list, yeah. We could do New Smyrna. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, fellas. This new year, new us. We need to travel a little, and I'm going to report when they have the awards banquet for Five Flags. I'm going to go and I'll do our reporting for that.
Just looking at some of the entry lists there for the tour type modifieds. I mean, the Catalano family is packing the bus to bring down here from Ontario, New York. They got Tommy, Amy, Trevor, and Tyler Catalano in the tour top modifieds with the Patrick Emmerling and Ron Silk. Those are some of the entries that I'm looking at right now as of the 24th of December. So there'll be some more of them.
Now, last year, what's his name? The one that's been dominating. He won every single modified race down there in the.
That would be Mr. Matt Hirschman.
Matt Hirschman. He won every single night. Nobody could touch him. So I'm sure he's going to come back for some more of that money.
Oh, yeah. He wants to put some more change in his pocket, a little cha-ching.
Yep. So, I mean, that's the only thing about down there is when you race, you have to buy a temporary NASCAR license, which costs you $50.
Oh.
You have to do it or you can't race.
No.
So I'm like, gee, I'm going to be a NASCAR driver for one night. But you know what? Like I said, that's something we ought to consider. We'll discuss it on our own further. But that would be cool. We can all go down there, just pile in the truck and let's ride.
Yeah, have some fun.
Well, it is the Tulsa Shootout, and then the Chili Bowl is at the Sage Center as well in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We just went over the size of that building with that 8-minute pit walk. Was incredible. We were trying to figure out how to navigate through that. Didn't see any scooters, didn't see any four-wheelers or anything. Everybody's walking. You have to fire up the car and get it heated up outside of the building because of, I guess, the EPA would have some rules and restrictions on that, which is obvious, of course. But that the heat race for the Winged Outlaws start tonight. There are 25 of them, 8 laps, and I'm going to say from the list that we looked at, Jesse Love and Kyle Busch, and let's see.
Well,
there's a female that was in there too.
Oh, Haley Deegan.
Yeah.
There's probably 2 or 3 females that are going to try to run in that, I would imagine.
Yeah, Kaylee Bryson is the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
Kaylee Bryson was in there. But, they're going to run 8 laps tonight and 25 heat races just tonight, and that's where it kicks off. And they'll be raising the clay all weekend, and 55 laps for the A-Main on Sunday for the big golden driller that what everybody's looking for.
Yeah. That will be one whale of a show. That's another one we got to get to.
Yeah, I that or the other one, but I just think that we're moving on into 2024. The next show we do will be within the next year, yes. So we got a lot to look forward to in 2024.
We do.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it and seeing how much more we can stuff into this show.
Yeah. Well, I think like I said, we talked about doing video. I think that would be a blessing, and we get that rolling. I think things will be even better for us. We're going to go bigger and better things next year, folks. We're trying to make this thing grow. We're doing it for you guys. We want you guys to listen, share it with your friends. And if you have any comments or anything like that, jump on our Facebook page, throw us a message. Buy our T-shirts. We have hats for sale. Anything you help us with that right there. Go do our Patreon. We're going to work on that some more this year too. I think we got some ideas we're going to toss around for that. But if you support us and help us make this thing grow and we get bigger and bigger, and wherever you listen to us, give us a 5-star review.
Yes.
Just click a 5-star. It helps us grow. It helps us. And if it's Apple, leave us, a review, whatever. And, we just got to get stronger and stronger. And before this year's done, I got to give a shout out to the Motorcop Chronicles podcast. They give us a shout out every week. They, cause I'm on their Patreon and I help them. They help us. They give us a shout out every week. So, and I've had people actually, comment on that. So that's pretty cool too. Thank you guys for doing that. We got to thank the Muffler Mafia for sponsoring earlier this year. They might be coming back this year.
I've talked to them during the Derby. They said they'll be back.
Okay, well, we're going to have them back on. Story and Black Roofing. Guys, what can I say? They put a roof on my house and did an excellent job. So if you need roofing, and like I said, say a little prayer for Marcus Story.
Yes.
Ryan Blake and them are great people. They'll do you right. So give them a holler. And if you want a Crown Vic and you want a race car, Marcus Story has several of them for sale. Just letting you know, if you're ready to step into the Crown Vic class, give him a holler. He's got several of them race ready. Just want to give them a shout out for that. So you got a car that if you want to race, they have several.
Good. That'd be, get some new blood in there again.
Blood in the water, baby. Let it eat.
Yeah, it is all because of our listeners and our sponsors. We have now moved up to number 4, most popular short track racing podcast on the internet. So we do thank all of you for that. That is a contribution to all the listening and all the word of mouth that gets out and helps us grow. We do appreciate that and hope to continue that through 2024.
Well, guys, I just want to say it's been a wonderful year. I enjoyed doing this with y'all every night. We have disagreements on things. I get it. But you know what? And we're passionate about what we love, and we love short track racing. So, we all can't agree on everything. How great would this crappy world would it be if we all just agreed with everybody? So you guys are awesome. I enjoyed doing this with you. And I just want to wish you guys a happy new year. May a happy and a blessed new year. And I hope all our listeners have a happy and blessed new year, that we can all do what's right by the world and go short track racing and be Americans and love this country as well as being short track racers.
Right. I second that emotion.
So
I third the emotion.
all right. Well, gentlemen, we think that's about it for this evening.
I think we've run the course.
I think we've run what we can talk about tonight, but I just want to wish all our listeners Happy New Year. Thomas, thank you, man, for what you do. And Ted, you too. Thank you for sponsoring my car and helping me out this year, man. And Pensacola Glass, your company, thank you very much. All Pools, Emerald Coast Remodeling and Trim, and I can't forget James Pfeiffer with can'tquitfishing.com. He came on board with us and helped us the beginning of the last couple of years and bought some stuff from us and hanging with us. So we appreciate you guys and look forward to a strong 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. All the way around.
Sounds good to me. On a wrap on this Wednesday, episode 17. We're moving right along. And we will end it at the big sign-off. I think we're going to continue that into the new year as well.
That's it. We got one more year of it, hopefully, and we won't have to do it no more.
Yeah, we'll have to change it up.
Yeah, we have to do something different. You're absolutely right. Let's just pray that we do.
That would be
Please, good Lord, just help us with that. Well, are we ready, gentlemen?
Yes.
We will. Ready?
1,
2,
3.
Let's go, Brandon. Good night, everybody. Happy New Year.
Be strong, America.
Thanks for listening.